Hello everybody! My name's Michelle the Bookworm, and it is officially the end of June. So, I like to end the months with a little wrap-up of the books that I read that month. This video, I'm actually going to be doing a June wrap-up and a July TBR. So I'm just gonna mash two videos into one, because what's the point of making two videos back to back? Yeah, so, so first I'd like to talk about the books that I finished. I finished 2 books this month and made various progress on my other books. So, the first book that I finished this month is the Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. I say that with a question mark because I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. This book was originally written in Japanese. It was translated by Philip Gabriel, so shout out to him. This is a story that follows a cat named Nana, which means 7 in Japanese. That's because Nana the cat has a mark over his eye that has that means the number 7 in Japanese, and also his tail is crooked, so it looks like a number 7. So Nana, and so he's considered a lucky cat. Nana was taken in by a kind young man named Satoru, I believe, and they lived together for 4 years. So Satoru took Nana in as a stray, and they lived together for 4 years, until Satoru had to move to a place where he can't take Nana. So most of their novel is about this road trip that they take together across Japan so that Nana can possibly, Satoru can possibly find a new home for Nana. And with every stop that they make, the reader learns more and more about Satoru's history and his family and his relationships, and all of this is told from the point of view of the cat. So it's not a book that I've ever encountered before, because you get a very outside perspective of this man, of Satoru's situation, and just kind of a different view of the type of person he is, and it's a really, really good story. It made me cry. It's a very emotional story, really heart-wrenching, and with a lot of ups and downs, and it gets really personal, and it's personal and impersonal because, sometimes cats really pay attention and sometimes cats don't give a flying hoot about anything. So it was really, really interesting. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. And my rating's pretty critical. So I would highly, highly recommend this book, especially if you need a book that touches your feelers and you just want a really sad, happy book. I highly recommend this one to you. It's sweet, it's emotional, it's interesting, and it's awesome. The next book that I read was actually recommended to me by a friend of mine. So this is the Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton. This book follows a young girl named Nor Blackburn. She lives in Anamantha. She lives on the Anamantha Island with her grandmother and her partner, Judd. Nor wants to live this normal life, but due to her family's history and her own past, it kind of prevents her from doing so. Her mother's name is Fern, and her mother was extremely abusive. So it causes a lot of complications. Nora has a lot of complications that's from like her witch heritage and other just kind of like normal teenage problems. First of all is that her mother is extremely abusive, and but she ran away when she was younger, and like while Nora's still healing, her mother comes back for whatever reason. She's very suspicious. Nora still has a hard time coping with her trauma. That's quite a big part of this book, is like how do you deal in your own ways with trauma. So be warned about that. But Nora's has a really cool ability where she actually gets to talk. She can hear the thoughts of animals, which she thinks is really like mundane, but I think is really, really cool. And all the animals are leaving the island, and she doesn't know why. So that's a huge mystery of the novel. She has a strange connection with a boy named Gage Coldwater, who has a history with the Blackburn family. So there's a little bit of family drama there. Yeah, so I ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5. It was definitely like a really, really good read. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It's definitely worth the read, especially the way that they portray magic in this book is really, really new and interesting, and I've never read anything like it. My only personal critique is that Leslie could have roughed out, sanded out some of the edges of the ending. But other than that, it's a decent read. I really enjoyed it, and the magic in it is very, very interesting and compelling. So I also have made progress on my other books. I know I only finished 2 books this month, but I would like to keep you updated about the progress of my other books. I am currently on chapter 8 of Harry Potter et le Coupe de Foudre. This has been a very slow read, especially since each chapter takes me about an hour, and I have to like actively be in the mood to read French and have the time and energy to read. But I'm working my way through it, guys, little by little. It's getting there, and I'm very excited to continue more with this. I should actually spend more time with it. Another book that my audiobook for this month is Oliver Twist. I am currently on chapter 22 out of 40-something chapters, probably 50-something, and that's getting really interesting. It's hard. It's not one of those books that I like can listen to as I go to bed, which is usually what I read audiobooks for, or I listen to audiobooks before I go to bed, but sometimes it's really hard to listen to this book because it's just really depressing. This poor kid goes through a lot, so I'm picking and choosing like whether or not I feel like, going to sleep hearing about this poor kid's traumatic events. Yeah, I'm making my way through it though. And my most recent book that I have started is The Lost Girls of Paris by Pam Jensen. This book is... Oh, it's not Jensen. Pam Jenoff. This book is really, really good. I am enjoying it so far. It's a little hard to keep track of all the different characters. There's about 3 characters right now. This book is the historical fiction novel that I spontaneously picked up at Costco for like $10, so it was a good deal. And this, for those of you who know me, this is not something that I ever read. This is completely out of my area, but I'm really loving it so far. It's about these spies during World War II who, like, are these women who are basically dropped into enemy territory and have to gather intel and, like, give their side intel while not being figured out, and it's really, really interesting so far. It's really good, and you get to hear it, like, 3 different sides of the story. I'm loving it. I'm really excited to see what actually happens at the end. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm planning to do for the rest of this month. I'm also going to be, so for July I have 2 additional books that I will be reading. So for my Goodreads book club, I'm going to be reading Black Beauty by Anna Swell. And I also would like to read The Soul of an Octopus by Cy Montgomery. This is another book that was recommended to me, and I was supposed to read it last month, but I just didn't get to it. So I'm definitely going to be reading this book as well this month. It's like it's a science novel. It's another genre of book that I don't normally read. And it's exploring, like, the emotional and, like, psychology of an octopus. And I read the first couple chapters, and it's really good so far. I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. And I have more books that I'm going to be reading this month. I'm not sure which ones they're going to be. This month is going to be the Reading Rush. So for those of you who don't know, every year BookTube has a kind of challenge where for the full week you spend an entire week completing these reading challenges. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet, but I'm really excited. I'm going to be posting a video about the different books that I'm going to be reading for the Reading Rush. The Reading Rush is happening from July 2nd to July 28th, and my goal is to read 3 books so far. So for the Reading Rush, I'm hopefully going to read at least 3 more books. I don't know which ones exactly they are yet. So I want to definitely save time for that. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to make some more progress this week. Feel free to leave a comment down below about any of the books that you read this month. What books were really cool for you? What books did you not really like? And what books are you looking forward to reading this month, or this upcoming month? Anyway, yeah, feel free to leave a comment below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll keep you posted. Bye!